Well, the Fountain of Youth is little more than folklore and mythology, but one man may have found the next best thing.
Steve Perrine is the editor of Men's Health magazine. For over 10 years, his team has been obsessed with helping people reach their fitness goals and stay healthy. Instead of counting fat grams or calories, they've come up with 5 simple tests to find out how fast your clock is ticking and what to do to slow down the hands of time.
Please welcome back to the 700 Club the author of the new books, The Men's Health Diet and The Women's Health Diet. Stephen, welcome back.
Terry, thanks so much. Appreciate you having me here.
Well, so much information that you had to do 2 separate books because it really is different for men and women, isn't it?
It is, but, a lot of the principles are very much the same. And as you and I were talking before, that, I'm kind of not only the author of the books, but I'm the biggest booster because the tips in there really worked for me.
Yeah. Tell me about your own weight loss. You lost 35 pounds.
About 35 pounds in my early 30s. I came to work for Men's Health. I was, overweight, tired all the time, and, started adapting the principles that we talk about in Men's Health and Women's Health magazines. Lost 35 pounds. I've kept it off now for 15 years. So it's not just fast and effective, but it's a lifestyle, it's a lifelong change.
Yeah. You've changed the way that you think, and you've changed what's important to you. I'm sure you couldn't consistently hang on to all of that.
Sure, and a lot of it is just knowing a few very, very simple tips, which we've outlined in the Men's Health Diet and the Women's Health Diet.
Well, I know the thing that's really intrigued people that we've mentioned today is the ability to stay younger longer. We live in a culture that just values youth and the ability to stay vibrant. So you've kind of outlined this in decades. We're going to start with the 20s and talk about that.
Sure. Staying younger is a lot about staying healthy, and that's what's so great. So first thing you need to know is in your 20s, that's when stress really starts to begin to hit.
That's true.
And it's the first time that women tend to show signs of depression as well. Nutrition is really, really valuable when it comes to fighting stress and fighting depression. We recommend flaxseed, ground flaxseed in particular, because it's very, very high in omega-3 fatty acids, which help improve brain function and fight depression. Another thing that's very important is monitoring blood sugar. A lot of people don't think, they think blood pressure, they think cholesterol, but blood sugar monitoring is very important. So ask your doctor ask your doctor to get tested. 1/3 of people at risk for diabetes have no idea that they're at risk.
Wow.
Belly fat, too, is another thing you want to focus on. You can go to womenshealthmag.com and find a BMI, which is body mass index, calculator, help you know whether or not you're struggling with a little extra weight. And a 4th thing we want you to think about in your 20s, we show it's a little Bluetooth type device here. Women are more prone to die in car accidents at this time than at any other time in their lives. And the reason is because we're distracted. We're talking on cell phones. 1 in 20 women admits to putting on makeup while driving.
Oh, I've seen that for years in the car. I marvel when I see somebody driving and doing their mascara at the same time.
Seatbelts and common sense are really critical.
It's really true. That is common sense, and we ought to utilize it. Okay, this is the 30s. Wow, it gets the most room here.
Once you hit your 30s, number 1 thing I want you to think about is protecting your skin. Skin cancer becomes a risk. Use sunscreen, and particularly you look for a sunscreen that has a physical sunblock, meaning either zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. They'll last longer and be more protective than chemical sunblocks. Look for one also that has vitamins A, C, or E, the antioxidants, which improve the quality of sunblock.
Okay.
3rd thing I want you to do is stay out of the sun. If you exercise, stay out of the sun between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Exercise indoors during those times. The reason, sweat makes the skin more receptive to the sun's rays.
So you need to go early?
So if you're going to exercise outdoors, do it before 10 or after 4. But do exercise, because starting at age 30, women lose about 10% of their body muscle mass over the next 20 years.
Wow.
And muscle mass is critical for keeping fat at bay. Muscle and fat are at a constant war inside your body.
For a lot of women, they're right at those childbearing years, too. So your body's really in a vulnerable place,
Absolutely.
isn't it?
That's why exercise, and particularly resistance training, is really important. It's also the point in your life where blood pressure begins to go up. Now, when we think about blood pressure, we think about cutting down on salt, and that's really important. But blood pressure is really a balance between salt and potassium.
So I did not realize that.
Absolutely. It's like a boat.
So there's some common things we can do here. These three are sort of the blood pressure.
Bananas, beans, raisins are really great for boosting potassium and helping keeping...
Every day?
As much as you can. As much as you can. Coconut water, that trendy new drink, really great for potassium.
Good that something trendy is also.
And the other thing I want you to focus on is nuts. They're not only a great weight loss, I think of nuts as like little weight loss pills, but they're also loaded with arginine, which increases blood flow, which, you know, the 30s is a really stressful time, and your sex life really kind of like pays the toll, kids, job, mortgage, everything else. So nuts improve blood flow, and that's really, really great for that.
Okay, so here we go with the 40s.
You know, in your 40s, wrinkles become an issue. I know that for myself. And so we recommend using a night cream that has emollients that will help smooth those out. But the other thing I want you to think about is eat more orange food.
Okay.
Why? Because it's loaded with carotenoids, which basically help keep wrinkles at bay and help protect against skin cancer.
This is great. This all looks wonderful. Now, you have strong orange here and then strong green here. What's that about?
Leafy greens are loaded with lutein, which helps protect against macular degeneration, one of the greatest risks for blindness.
Yeah,
in fact,
my mom has that.
Oh, well, people who eat the highest amounts of lutein cut their risk by 48%.
Wow. Wow.
So it's one thing that you can really do. And again, diet is so important to overall health, not only keeping us trim, but keeping us healthy, too.
Well, this is just a little bit of what's contained in Stephen's books. I want to show them to you because whether you're a man or a woman, these are for you. Check out these books. They are called The Men's Health Diet and The Women's Health Diet.
You find them exclusively at menshealthdiet.com. I'm sorry, menshealthdietbook.com, womenshealthdietbook.com.
Okay, and if you didn't catch that, go to cbn.com and we'll tell you how to get there. Okay, Stephen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us.
Appreciate it.
Wonderful information.